for being here. I think that obviously all folks in Congress, Republicans, Democrats, want a safe and secure border. I think what we have are different approaches to how we treat immigrants, a humane system, and ensuring that we don't go back to a process that was inhumane to people that are oftentimes struggling and just seeking a better life. We don't want to go back to family separation, to Muslim bans, to undermining our asylum system, and we know we can achieve a comprehensive goal that both has a secure border, but also a plan for immigrants that are here in this country and that are working hard to contribute to our economy and to our country. Now, legal pathways to ensure an orderly and humane process are important. Now, I strongly support legal immigration because we are a nation of immigrants. Immigrants are some of the most patriotic people I know in our country. They make our community stronger, they work hard, they build our country. I'm an immigrant. I came to this country as a young child. I love America. I think it's the best country on earth. When I raised my right hand, it was the proudest day of my life, and I'm giving back to this country. I try to every single day. And the same is true for everyone in my family who are also immigrants. But I also want to be clear why I think we're here today. It's because some folks in Congress, and certainly Donald Trump, think that bashing immigrants will win this election. Now, 2 weeks ago, during a bizarre debate performance, we saw, of course, the former president repeat manufactured conspiracies about immigrants, and in this case, Haitian immigrants in Ohio. As we now remember his horrible quote, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live here, and this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame. Now, we know that's been completely debunked. The Republican governor of Ohio, the Republican mayor of the city manager, and now even the woman that first made the claim, who's also a Trump supporter in Springfield, all have said that this was not true. Yet the lie continues to be repeated. J.D. Vance and other members of Congress have continued to amplify this xenophobic lie, and it's a shame. And we know it gets worse. We know that Haitian immigrants in Springfield also are overwhelmingly there on legal work permits. They're actually there legally, and were invited by the state and the city to work. But that hasn't stopped J.D. Vance and Donald Trump from threatening to revoke their status and to allow a mass deportation agenda. Now, Donald Trump's rhetoric has been dividing us and stoking anti-immigrant hate, I believe, since it first came down that escalator in 2015 to announce that he thought Mexicans were rapists and murderers. And he says families like mine and other immigrants are poisoning the blood of this country. Those are the facts. Now, I'm glad to say that the American people, however, don't buy that. A CBS poll found that only 1/3 of voters approve of Trump's claims about immigrants, and almost 65% believe his recent claims are false, which we know that they are. But here are some more facts. Donald Trump is not interested in border security. He killed the bipartisan border deal that was in front of the Congress. And the Biden-Harris administration has taken robust action to secure the border, and we're now seeing the results of that. And there's no immigrant crime wave, and I have to respectfully disagree with the chairman. In fact, our nation is safer today and has less crime today than it did when Donald Trump left office. Those are the facts being reported by police departments across the country. And finally, I'll reiterate, I believe immigrants are inherently part of this country. They're the backbone of our country. They make our country safer, stronger, and better. With that, I yield back.
I've got to respond
Mr. Chairman,
a little bit.
I move to strike.
I'm sorry.
I move to strike to speak.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, I would be hopeful that this would not be a Trump bash-hating ordeal. But if the gentleman is going to speak, he ought to speak factually correct. The reason why the bipartisan, quote, bipartisan Senate deal was not done was because House Republicans, including myself, and at least 30 other Texans said we would not vote for it. It had absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump. And so if the gentleman is going to make this all about politics, he at least ought to speak correctly instead of pushing falsehoods. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. I just do want to comment on something, and I'm disappointed that my good friend, Congressman Garcia, would try to confuse the American public. I've been down at the border 8 times. When I go down there, I frequently talk to the people who are in charge of debriefing or doing a health inspection on the new immigrants. They have told me that it is common for women who are coming across the border to be sexually assaulted. That ought to concern us all. Instead, what has happened when you try to bring up this idea that we want to stop the sexual assaults of women coming across the border, some Democrats say that this is a racial thing to say. Well, the border is to a large extent controlled by ruthless gangs. And it is very sad that the women who come here are being sexually assaulted. I don't know. Apparently, you're not supposed to say it or you're going to be accused of racism. It has nothing to do with racism.
Yeah.
It is pointing out, including all the other problems that you have with this massive border crossing, you are having women being assaulted by the Mexican gangs south of the Rio Grande. And if you go down there and talk to the people in charge of debriefing or whatever you'd say, the people coming across, they will tell you that. So it is not a racial statement. Donald Trump cares about women and does not like to see these women who are coming here sexually assaulted.
No, Mr. Chairman, thank you. And first of all, this is all a point of order. I mean, this is not a part of the way the hearing procedure works. But I will just respond. I do want to ask unanimous consent, since we're having this into the record, a September 17th, 2024 article from Fox News titled, "Border Patrol Apprehends 58,000 Migrants in August, down from the record 250,000 in December." And so let's be also clear that it was the bipartisan border deal, which I was discussing, that President Biden got put in, that's actually dropped migrant crossings. Now we're back to historic lows because of that. And so everything I said was also factually correct. I think it's important to call out people that are also demonizing immigrants, and it's important that we stick to the facts. So I was just purely responding to that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So
Without objection.
if we're just going to have a discussion, I'd like to weigh in.
So are we going to go back to regular order, or?
I guess we should go back to regular order. We will go back to regular order now.
That's too bad. I wanted to weigh in, as long as everybody's weighing in, freestyle.
Big, so he has great things to say. Well, your time to ask questions will be coming up soon. I'm pleased to introduce our witnesses today.